59. Inspirational spring quotes to enjoy the season. Flowers bloom in the spring and the trees begin to grow and reproduce. Spring is a time when the days get longer and temperatures to become higher in most areas. You can read some inspiring spring quotes that will inspire you to enjoy this season. Inspirational spring quotes. 1. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. Pablo Neruda. 2. In the spring, at the end of the day, you should smell like dirt. Margaret Atwood. 3. When spring came, even the fall spring, there were no problems except where to be happiest. The only thing that could spoil a day was people, and if you could keep from making engagements, each day had no limits. People were always the limiters of happiness, except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. Ernest Hemingway. 4. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. Pablo Neruda. 5. Expect to have hope rekindled. Expect your prayers to be answered in wondrous ways. The dry seasons in life do not last. The spring rains will come again. Sarah Ban Breathnock. 6. Unless a tree has borne blossoms in spring, you will vainly look for fruit on it in autumn. Walter Scott. 7. Every spring is the only spring, a perpetual astonishment. Ellis Peters. 8. Green is the soul of spring. Summer may be dappled with yellow, autumn with orange, and winter with white, but spring is drenched with the color green. Paul Cortepeter. Short spring quotes. 9. Spring is the time of plans and projects. Leo Tolstoy. 10. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Percy Bysshe Shelley. 11. That is one good thing about this world, there are always sure to be more springs. L. M. Montgomery. 12. Spring shows what God can do with a drab and dirty world. Virgil A. Craft. 13. Despite the forecast, live like it's spring. Lily Pulitzer. 14. Spring work is going on with joyful enthusiasm. John Muir. 15. No winter lasts forever, no spring skips its turn. Hal Borland. 16. Spring is God's way of saying, one more time. Robert Orban. 17. The spring of love becomes hidden and soon filled up. Max Muller. 18. Spring is a true reconstructionist. Henry Timrod. 19. Spring brings warmth and blossom of flowers. Leila Gifty Akita. Welcome spring quotes. 20. Spring is nature's way of saying, let's a party. Robin Williams. 21. Oh, wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Percy Bysshe Shelley. 22. Behold, my friends, the spring is come, the earth has gladly received the embraces of the sun, and we shall soon see the results of their love. Sitting Bull. 23. Spring has returned. The earth is like a child that knows poems. Rainer Maria Rilke. 24. When the winter comes, be very happy, because the spring comes only if the winter comes. Mehmet Murat Ilden. 25. The essence of a thoughtful spring menu is bringing the table to life with flavorful color. Sherry Yard. 26. A man has every season while a woman only has the right to spring. Jane Fonda. Beautiful spring quotes. 27. What a strange thing. To be alive beneath cherry blossoms. Kobayashi Isa. 28. It is spring again. The earth is like a child that knows poems by heart. Rainer Maria Rilke. 29. People were always the limiters of happiness except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. Ernest Hemingway. 30. I suppose the best kind of spring morning is the best weather God has to offer. Dodie Smith. 31. The beautiful spring came, and when nature resumes her loveliness, the human soul is apt to revive also. Harriet and Jacobs. 32. Life stands before me like an eternal spring with new and brilliant clothes. Carl Friedrich Gauss. 33. Surely the flowers of 100 spring are simply the souls of beautiful things. L. M. Montgomery. 34. Despite the heart-numbing frost, my soul is blooming like spring. Deb Seish Mrida. 35. The most beautiful springs are those that come after the most horrible winters. Mehmet Murat Ilden. 36. A tree never complains about the winter because she is busy getting ready to bloom during the spring and summer. Deb Seish Mrida. Spring love quotes. 37. If we had no winter, the spring would not be so pleasant. If we did not sometimes taste of adversity, prosperity would not be so welcome. Anne Bradstreet. 38. If people did not love one another, I really don't see what use there would be in having any spring. Victor Hugo. 39. Or maybe spring is the season of love and fall the season of mad lust. Spring for flirting, but fall for the untamed, delicious wild thing. Elizabeth Cohen. 40. The garden of love is green without limit and yields many fruits other than sorrow or joy. Love is beyond either condition, without spring, without autumn, it is always fresh. Rumi. 41. It is so small a thing to have enjoyed the sun, to have lived light in the spring, to have loved, to have thought, to have done. Matthew Arnold. 42. Spring is the ultimate genius of the existence and the utter ladder of the lovers ascending to the infinity. Mehmet Murat Ilden. 43. Spring comes when the flowers bloom, your love cannot be understood, but you came alone. Meng Hui. 44. Winter is the reason for the spring, he who loves the spring must also love its reason. Mehmet Murat Ilden. Spring quotes for kids. 45. I enjoy the spring more than the autumn now. One does, I think, as one gets older. Virginia Woolf. 46. With the coming of spring, I am calm again. Gustav Mahler. 47. Spring is when you feel like whistling even with a shoe full of slush. Doug Larson. 48. The very spring and root of honesty and virtue lie in good education. Plutarch. 49. We'll make friends with the wind and sky and sun, and bring home spring in our hearts. L. M. Montgomery. 50. Do not wish an everlasting spring. Without tasting the winter, you cannot get pleasure out of the spring. Mehmet Murat Ilden. 51. Nature is the fountain's head, the source from whence all originality must spring. John Constable. 52. I love spring flowers. Daffodils and hyacinths are the ultimate flowers for me. They are the essence of spring. Kirsty Gallagher. 53. I love feeling the crispness of fall and the sensuality of spring. Christopher Maloney. Springtime quotes. 54. It's spring fever. That is what the name of it is. And when you've got it, you want, oh, you don't quite know what it is you do want, but it just fairly makes your heart ache, you want it so. Mark Twain. 55. Yes, I deserve a spring, I owe nobody nothing. Virginia Woolf. 56. Never cut a tree down in the wintertime. Never make a negative decision in the low time. Never make your most important decisions when you are in your worst moods. Wait. Be patient. The storm will pass. The spring will come. Robert H. Schiller. 57. I am going to try to pay attention to the spring. I am going to look around at all the flowers, and look up at the hectic trees. I am going to close my eyes and listen. Anne Lamott. 58. The first day of spring is one thing, and the first spring day is another. The difference between them is sometimes as great as a month. Henry Van Dyke. 59. I trust in nature for the stable laws of beauty and utility. Spring shall plant and autumn garner to the end of time. Robert Browning. I hope you liked the above spring quotes. You may also like the motivational articles mentioned below.